Hello, welcome back to the channel. You are watching the Voice of Mzansi, and if you're new here, please do hit that subscribe button so you don't miss important updates. Today we have a story that has sparked outrage and spotlighted an unsettling employer practice. A construction boss was recently busted for bringing in undocumented foreign workers to build for him in South Africa, offering them substandard pay for hard labor. Please stick around until the end so you can see the sources and verify the information for yourself. Let's break down what happened. In a coordinated operation involving the Department of Employment and Labor alongside Home Affairs and Police, a sting was conducted at a construction site where several undocumented foreign nationals were found working. The company's manager was arrested along with these workers, and legal action is being taken. These workers are said to be working under dangerous conditions, with wages well below minimum standards, and without valid contracts or documentation, a prime example of labor exploitation using immigration vulnerabilities. The construction industry has long been cited as one where undocumented labor prevails. A group monitoring exploitative practices claims that up to 90% of construction workers in some settings are undocumented foreign nationals. This situation creates illegal labor markets that undercut South African workers and skirt regulations like health and safety laws and minimum wage protections. In many cases, small business owners or contractors bring in these workers to cut labor costs, using the promise of cash pay and housing to attract desperate workers. This crackdown hits on two main issues. First is the violation of labor laws and worker protections. When undocumented workers are hired under these conditions, they lose rights to fair pay, insurance, safe working conditions, and employment benefits. Second is the impact on local employment. When employers hire cheap undocumented labor, local construction workers struggle to compete, which further depresses wages and pulses up existing tensions over job opportunities. Authorities have made clear that both the workers and the employer will face consequences, though they emphasize that culpability lies primarily with those profiting from the arrangement. The workers, often exploited and fearful, at least receive recognition that they were misled or coerced, whereas culpable employers may face fines, business closure, and criminal charges if found guilty of breaking occupational laws and immigration statutes. What lies ahead? Legal repercussions could include fines for violating the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, occupational health and safety regulations, and immigration laws. The employer may also lose business licenses. For the workers, there is a path toward documentation if they meet eligibility, or otherwise possible repatriation. There's also pressure mounting for improved enforcement, mandatory checks for documentation by employers, and better protection for all workers. The broader narrative paints a complex picture. On one hand, we have vulnerable migrants seeking survival, often misled into illegal labor. On the other, we see businesses exploiting this vulnerability to profit. And in the background are citizens feeling shut out of job opportunities entirely. None of this is new, but the sting has reminded us of a broken system that enables such exploitation. If you've heard more about how the legal process will unfold, whether unions are responding, or how the construction industry is reacting, please drop those updates in the comments so we can track it together. And before we wrap up, here's a lighter moment, because after hearing about sneaky construction exploitation, a little levity helps. I saw someone joke that maybe the boss thought undocumented meant undetected, until the sting caught them red-handed. Another said next time they need construction sites to run like government clinics, demand your documents before you get paid. Seriously though, this shows the need for shared responsibility. Employers must respect laws, workers must have rights protected, and government agencies must enforce without fear. That's how we build an economy that's fair and safe for everyone. All images used are for illustration purposes only. Sources: Department of Employment and Labor sting operation resulting in arrests of foreign nationals and their employer. Labor watchdog claims about the prevalence of undocumented workers in construction. News reporting on exploitative practices in the sector.